I'm Jenny. Welcome to Jenny's Greenhouse. In this video we're going to be talking about no-dig gardening, and by no-dig I don't mean digging with a spade and not digging at all. It's a particular type of technique. But before we get into that, I'd like to suggest that you might want to like and subscribe to the channel. It does help the algorithms find the channel, and it does encourage others to find the channel, which one might benefit them. So back to no dig. We are very good in this country of being gardeners, and we've been gardeners for a long time, but that has often meant digging over vegetable patches and even double digging, where you go down 2 spades worth. And actually we've now discovered that this is actually not very good for the soil. And in turn, if it's not good for the soil, then it's probably not good for the plants that we're growing in. In fact, it isn't good for the plants that we want to grow in that soil. So what do we want to do instead? Essentially, what we want to do is to create the least disturbance of the soil and put in the plants, hopefully fairly small, and then to leave that for as long as possible without actually disturbing it any further. And that is essentially what no dig is. And along with that, we want to improve the soil, particularly if it isn't going to be fiddled with for a long period of time, by adding mulches that will break down and add nutrients to the soil. But why don't we want to dig? And the reason for that is because as we dig, we interfere with organisms in the soil which have a beneficial impact on our plants. And this primarily comes down to 3 different types of category: earthworms, mycorrhizal fungi, and soil bacteria. So with earthworms, their burrows allow moisture into the soil, they let the rain in, but they also allow air into the soil. And air is very important in roots, in the growing of roots. And that's why hydroponic systems work so well, is because they're getting the water, but they're also getting the air. And you'll find that systems growing hydroponically do benefit because of that air that the root could get to the roots. And we've seen research from Kew Gardens, for instance, where trees have been planted for probably hundreds of years, and the soil around them has been so compacted that in fact that it's actually killed the trees. And one of the reasons for that is the lack of air around the roots. So by not disturbing the earthworm burrows, we're allowing that network of water and air to get to the plant's roots. The mycorrhizal fungi, on the other hand, work with the roots, and so does the soil bacteria. Both of these help to transition the nutrients from the soil into the roots. But these are fragile in the sense that the more you disturb them, the less ability they have to build up a structure which actually then works for the plants. And what we want is good, healthy plants. And particularly if those are plants that we're going to be eating, we need the nutrients from the soil to go into those plants. So at the end of the day, we need to be sure that we aren't disturbing the soil. But if we're not disturbing the soil, does that mean we're just leaving it? No, we're adding a mulch. And that could be some compost, could be some more topsoil, it could be grass cuttings. Whatever it is that will hold the moisture into the soil around the plants, break down over a period of time, adding nutrients to the soil. And also protect the soil from harsh conditions such as frost or drought. And there are numerous reasons why we would benefit from using a no-dig technique. For one thing, it's easier on the back. But in addition, it actually does create stronger plants. And if you're mulching properly, it should reduce the amount of water you need to keep, dry spells. It reduces the amount of time you actually have to spend gardening when you could be doing something else. And maybe you could be doing something else in some other part of the garden, growing seeds, for instance. It helps with better drainage because you're creating the allowing the burrows to stay. That ability, particularly in things like clay soils, allows the nutrients, the rain and the air to get into the root systems. And obviously, if you're covering the soil, it can't wash off or whatever in heavy rain. And as we know, both with wind and rain, we're getting far more of it due to the changing climate. In addition, when we disturb the soil, if there are seeds in that soil, the addition of oxygen and air around the plants will actually increase the possibility of seeds germinating, which is what we want when we're growing a wildflower meadow with annuals, but it isn't what we want when we're growing perennials. So to keep the weeds down, don't disturb the soil. So there's a number of reasons why no dig's good, and I would try it for yourself. That's the easiest way. Plant some veg with your normal technique in one place, plant the same veg a few feet away, and try it. I think you'll be surprised how well the plants grow when they aren't being disturbed and their roots aren't being fiddled with. I hope you do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you.